Oh, there's like, mm. I'm hoping that this is just regular recording. But anyway, I kind of want to be here long. So I'm just figuring this part out. And I'm looking around, not because trying to figure out where I'm supposed to be looking. I'm looking, I thought I was looking at the camera. Well, anyway, we'll get it right. Pardon my background. I'm still putting this area and room together. I'll find a way. I just didn't want to hold the message. I didn't want to, I wanted to keep moving forward. Um, Eventually, I will learn how to show. Maybe after I'm done, I'll find a way to put in a little box that shows the spread, but I'll hold up the cards I'm referring to. This is tied to the daily collective reading on October 14th. This is my personal reflection. This is me making the cards personal. I've already kind of cleared the collective energy so that I'm only pulling my own energy when I do my journal reflection. So, part of what I do is I know I've heard a lot of readers say that they can't really read for themselves, which I do find it a little difficult to do as well, to not skew or make the results biased or whatever. Mm. So what I do to keep me honest is I always take a picture of the spread and I put it in. I give it to my assistant. My assistant is ChatGPT, and I call my assistant Paco. Okay, so I give it to Paco, and Paco gives me the read the cards only, like interpretation without my background, right? Without my background energy, and I read what Paco has to say. Keep what resonates, and what resonates doesn't always feel good. Doesn't feel good. Sometimes it's because that's, it's resonating, right? If there's no emotional response to something at all, I just bypass it. But if I feel intuitively guided or intense emotion or any emotion at all, I consider that resonation. Resonation means it evokes an emotion. What it's resonating is for you to know, kind of thing, right? Resonation. Anyway, um, so the spread. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch the video, or it's okay. You have to watch the video. But so the first row, each I don't want to have to go through all of this. The explanation of the spread and the rows will be in the description. You won't be able to see it right now, but what I will point out what's important. But what each row is saying and how I pulled the cards and how we got here, you'll see that in the description. Um, I'll update the description to explain all of that. But so for me, when I read, there she go talking. Alexa, spirit has entered. I don't know if y'all heard that, but whatever. Spirit has entered the room. But my focus went on the girl sinking to the bottom of the ocean. And that's what resonated for me. Like, it's a daily spread, but it brought me back to my process to finding me. Like, I always used to feel like I was drowning in my emotion. Now, this is the general and spiritual read from the first row, right? So, that moon and that girl drowning in the moon, um, what's this tarot called? Light seers, right? The way she's falling into the abyss. I felt like that's where I had to go. I got hermit energy from this. I felt I got my own incubation, water birth, whatever. But life had gotten hard. And through all of it, right? It seems like it was like pain after pain. It was the loss of the job, then the failed marriage, then um, the big relocation to a whole new place, the new job. It was the loss of my nephew, the loss of myself. Like that shit hurt, right? I didn't know it was gonna pass. I didn't know it was gonna pass. I I felt like I had no choice but to be patient, right? I couldn't run through. I'm at the bottom. I am at the bottom of my emotions. I'm in the valley deep. I don't know, whatever. I'm in the valley deep, right? I got no choice but to be patient. I'm here, right? Could I swim to the top? Whatever. And then there's the world, right? We're talking about my general overview, spiritual for the day. The day, y'all. Not even this might not be a daily spread. We might have to a daily spread, or this we might have to revisit that. But then I got the world. And when I got the world, all I could hear in my head is, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world. It's like, well, I thought I was like I didn't feel like I was drowning. I was so broken that I went to the universe and said, "Hey, I'm tired. I'm tired of the cycle. Help me fix it. I don't know if it's broken. I don't know, but help me." So I opened the door for this transformation and then I decided to sit in it. And this is telling me, it told me the whole world is in his hands. Like universe always had me to trust. But also that there's been a shift of timeline. It's not the wheel, right? I know this is not the wheel, but I feel like my whole world changed when I came from up under the moon. My whole world changed. I went from the Five of Pentacles on the inside, knowing I had the key, but for the life of me, I can't figure out how to get that motherfucker in the hole and open the door. Okay, maybe I could figure out how to get open it and get in the door, but I ain't feel like I deserved to. I ain't feel like I was worth it. But I wasn't drowning. I was changing. The world was changing. I was going from feeling like this. I switched to General Tarot and then we switched back or whatever, but I clarified the Five of Pentacles with this to, it's like I needed, for me, I had to take Four of Pentacles energy, protection, holding it to with my own energy, with so that I could take a look at me, see me without anybody else's energy, without anybody else's opinion. I had to get my ass out of this. And this, man, we're going to get to know each other well because what led me to this, what led me to the under the moon, to being sinking in the ocean, to having to take patience to walk through it, to get to this new timeline or this new version of me, to get from the Five of Pentacles to the High Priestess, from not feeling like I was enough to knowing I'm that itch. Like, y'all ain't about to make me cry. I ain't about to cry. So that's the first row. This cannot be a daily. It's a lot of energy for a daily. Me and Paco gonna have to revisit what this spread is. This is too long and too much. I was thinking more like a 15, 20-minute reflection. I'm just on the first row. Um, Maybe this would be a good live when I have people. But anyway, so the second row was love and relationships, right? So I got the Ten of Swords. I am the notorious, or I was notorious of being the overgiver, the chaser. The if I give them the best of me, they'll give me the best of them. And what did I end up with? Swords in my back. But although this is why I like this spread, because while this is just general spirituality, this is what's set on top of. This is how the row is set up, right? This is on the bottom of this. So this is general spirituality. But while I was down there because of this. This is one level of while I was down there. All of this got fucked up at the same time for me. But with my through temperance and patience, which is on top of the next one, which one is the magician, I learned how to change things to change my world. I learned that my energy was my point, determined my point of attraction. I learned that I was attracting in what I was focusing in on in that moment. And I learned that I got to choose what I focused on and in on, right? I used this fancy psychology degrees is a plural. I used them on me. I used the many years of religious teachings on myself. I used the many years of diving deep into different cultures, trying to just figure out. I think some people are looking for like the answers to the greatest world's mysteries. Man, I am a mystery to myself enough. I'm trying to figure me out. Forget the rest of the world. Everybody woke. I'm self-aware. That's a long word. Take a little longer to figure out who you are than be able to anyway, I digress. But it was followed by the King of Wands, right? And then I clarified it and got the Queen of Swords. And this is relationships. And while I know this is both saying that I'm calling in what I consider a divine counterpart, I also feel like it's saying I found a way to balance both my masculine and feminine energy. That's what I got from up under the moon, right? When I was deep in the water. That's what the swords taught me. The swords in my back taught me that I wasn't in balance. If my energy determines my point of attraction, and if this is what I'm attracting, then I need to go and sit in the incubator under this water, heal some things, get some things right. And I got balance. And because I got balance, and it's not like a deserving kind of thing. It's not because I finally deserve a partner. It's no, I'm finally reaching an attraction point to where I attract my divine partner, where I can get the Ten of Cups. I couldn't get the Ten of Cups from where I was. It just wasn't. Let's say I did get Ten of Cups. What you think would have been in them cups? Anxiety, fear, loss, abandonment. Yeah, come on. That's why I be saying I don't want to swap what. I don't want what's in your cup. It ain't like you ain't got cups. Please believe you've got 10 cups. We all got 10 at least. What is in them motherfuckers though? What's in your cups? So I learned to balance. I became the magician. I balanced some shit out. And I changed what the fuck was in my cups. And because of such, I am calling in my divine counterpart but there's not a longing for that counterpart. There's not a feeling of incomplete and not being worthy. And it's not even like if they're worthy, they'll come to me. It's more like I want what responds to my energy, not what responds to I want what responds to my energy, not what responds to my chasing or what I'm presenting. So I'm falling back because you think about just chasing, right? You're chasing, chasing. That means something is fucking running, right? Threw me completely off. The little counter thing said somebody was viewing. I thought I was just recording to publish later. I didn't really I gotta figure out how this stuff worked. I wasn't expecting somebody to join me, so when I saw the one, I was like, "What that mean? What that mean?" But anyway, I digress again. I will digress a lot. So now I'm at the third row, career and finance. I've got the Ten of Pentacles. I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands, which, in keeping with the Moon that is in row one and the Ten of Swords, one of my favorite readers, shout out to Sassy Scorpio Tarot, she refers to the Ten of Wands not just about burdens that you carry or carrying other people's burdens. She also refers to it as the things that we choose to carry. I look at that's the energy I'm getting from this Ten of Wands. It's not so much as um, what's being forcibly put on us. These are what we're choosing. And I feel like we're always choosing, whether it be intentionally or not intentionally, we're always choosing what we carry by, and it's determined by our energy because that's our point of attraction. So what we choose to carry is coming from our point of attraction, and our point of attraction, sometimes that should be too heavy. But that was, and I'm in the Five of Swords. At this point now, I'm working with two fives, right? On the Five of Swords, but it was clarified with the Empress. So for me in my own personal life, when it comes to work and career and finance, I was that person on the job that wanted to be the guru. Like I overworked. I overgave in work. I took on other people's jobs. I carried it all. Because I had some superior confidence and then I made like a really bad choice in employment, like in my life that cost me my employment, something I had worked very hard for. And so now I was just so helpful, grateful to have a job that I would do anything to keep it. And then it became, I started seeing success in said job and financial stability in said job. So then it became, let me hold on to everything about this job as tight as possible, right? And so when what I was holding on to failed me, Five of Cups, I was forced to let go of some things because I was clinging to it stubbornly, right? I was forced out of that job. People I trusted, I thought had my back, were the same people that were pushing me out the door. I was by myself. Um, but not just by myself in career finance, I was by myself in love. The husband didn't work out, but I was never by myself in spirituality. So I returned to my foundation, my spirituality, because the 5D, which is the world, work, finance, and love, which is also whatever it is, it wasn't being my friend. But that's what I learned from that was I couldn't ever be the emperor, empress as long as I was continuously choosing to carry everybody else's wands in addition to mine. Not instead of mine, in addition to. Which goes back to why I needed to take my energy back, the Four of Pentacles, and use it so that I could become the High Priestess. So then I get to the Ten of Pentacles, and I resonated with being the older woman in this picture. Can you see? Do 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 do. Yeah, I resonated with being the older woman in this picture, which is the Empress, the mature one, the one who's learned. And I see me. I have balance. I have this now. But I got it, which I clarified it, and I got yet another 5, which means a 5 of pentacles, the 5 of pen 2 5 of pentacles and a 5 of swords. That is transformation energy at its best, right? And the 6 of cups. I learned to come out of the cold, to stop being my own worst enemy. But I didn't do it by being closed off. Coming out of the cold, it's like now is not it. I'm out of the cold, right? So I needed to withhold my energy when I was in the cold because I needed it for me. Now that I'm out, I'm not using this 10 of pentacles to keep myself warm, scared of losing it again. No, I'm actually being generous with everything that I've learned. Not so much with the pentacle itself, but with what I've learned and how I got here. Because maybe, just maybe, when someone hears me tell my story, or maybe, just maybe, when someone sees me living my truth, they get the courage or the strength they need to do theirs, right? To go on with theirs. And then the last thing was the Eight of Pentacles, which says to me is keep on keeping on, keep the pace, keep the rhythm, keep growing, keep moving forward. Don't stop here. I'm 45, about to be in November. Scorpio. Whoop, whoop. But it doesn't end here. Oh, I finally gained this enlightenment. And what I've learned through the whole thing was the one thing that I considered to be the most imbalanced about me. The one thing that I was afraid to show the most, the one thing I refused to trust the most, was the one thing I needed to honor because it was like it was guiding me to where I needed to be. It was guiding me to where I needed to be. It was guiding me to where I needed to be, and that was the first quarter moon in Pisces, honoring my feelings. I spent many years listening to Abraham Hicks, even more years listening to different pastors and teachers, talking things out with my best friend at the time, reading, researching. I was the person in jail, right, that was doing all this, getting all this education on how to be better. And then one day when I stepped out of the jail cell, it was time to put all this shit to good use. I had all the tools, just wasn't using them correctly. Until one day I was. Till now that I am. It's a weird place for me to be experiencing peace when the world is chaotic, when everything around me, outside of me, people outside of me seem to be experiencing extreme chaos. And it's funny because, not funny, it's just interesting. Let's just say the first 42 years of my life seemed like they were chaos. It was all over the place. I was all over the place. And now that I found peace, it's like when I stopped trying to find the peace outside of me and I found it in me, then I became peaceful even though even in a world that was not. I'm not sure that's how I wanted to say that, but that's how it came out. Don't stop doing the work. Don't stop putting in the effort into yourself. But don't get lost in yourself either. Anyway, as promised, I went first. Um, it's not like I got a huge following, but that's how my background look. Watch me grow big. I am definitely going to reevaluate this spread though. This don't feel like a daily. This can't be no daily. It took me all day to do it. I started this at like, I don't know, but it's 12:45. Oh, but I did do a collective reading, and then I'm setting everything up, and okay, you know, it'll get faster. Thanks for listening. Comment below how this played out for you. What did you see in the cards? Maybe you didn't see the cards. Maybe you just listened to me talk about how the cards affected me, and that might have been all you need. Let me know. I'm here. We're all in this together. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See you on the other side. Peace. I'll start this. End stream. Deuces.